How do you get people with different sized heads through your head-mounted display? All of these issues need to be part of your business plan. And then, of course, safety. Safety has to be prevalent at the top of all of our considerations when developing systems for out-of-home entertainment. And sadly, we're seeing quite a few incidences of individuals falling over, tripping over. You know, what Parmalat called the cable slave is an essential individual if you're using a tethered system. You can't allow them to wander around in a virtual environment without some assistance. Have you monitorized the assistant at the front of the house collecting the money and the individual that's helping the play around the facility into your business plan? Hygiene. I treat safety and hygiene as the same thing. The 3D cinema industry has gone through this for many years. They have worked out the best practices to ensure that those sticky fingers of chocolate and other materials do not get transferred to the next user of their 3D glasses, and we have to be made aware of the same kind of practices. And of course, cleaning, operating. Do you wipe down after every use? If you do wipe down, make sure you're using the right material. The reason I have the baby wipe here with the Haschem symbol, I had a client that was using baby wipes as the wipe down material for their head-mounted display after every usage. They got it wrong. They really wanted hand wipes or face wipes. They didn't want baby wipes because baby wipes are for babies' bums, and you don't want stuff for babies' bums on your face because there's quite a large amount of disinfectant on there that can be quite painful. So again, the right regime, dry wipe down, wet wipe down, all of these need to be considered. We're lucky enough to have Sensec here who are developing head-mounted displays that are dedicated for out-of-home entertainment applications. We use the 3 R's here: reliable, resilient, and robust. Reliable is easy to understand. It needs to be easy to service. It needs to be able to be fitted to different types of head. Resilient means that it's strong, it can survive many things, but it isn't a medium for bacteria or makeup or other nasties. It needs to be able to be clean, and then it needs to be robust. It needs to pass the 4 feet drop test, which most HMDs sadly can't do. One thing I want to make really clear and impart to all of you here, thank you for surviving this far into the presentation, we are not demo groups. We are generating revenue from what we are developing here. This is what out-of-home entertainment means. This is what commercial and enterprise. Do not get sucked in to thinking that this is just a means to promote a product that can then be sold into the consumer sector. The way that we do business is not the way that Best Buy is going to be selling their HTCs or their Rifts or their Sonys. We are entertainment enclosures and environments. They are selling a product and demonstrating it. And that comes to really the hype train, the managing of expectations. We're very lucky. The train has come to the station in some form or other. Virtual reality is now here. It is now a thing. The consumer expectation is what it is. And we hope that a lot of those situations are going to calm down. We know that the head of Oculus has now tried to manage some of those expectations by going, it's 5 years away before mass application. Okay. But we're in the out-of-home entertainment. We're dealing with the customer now. We're working on products, and we need to manage the experience. So the first thing is, we're unachievable at home. The second thing is that we're offering an experience that is second to none. And when we start to offer what you can do in the consumer sector to what we're doing in the out-of-home sector, you've got problems. So this is the takeaway. No, that's not the takeaway I want you to have. This is the takeaway. You need an operational model. You're not doing this just for the fun of it. You need to be professional in your approach to developing and deploying this technology into the public sector. It's a rough world out there, and dropping a machine into that sector can be incredibly painful. You need to have revenue generation. No matter how much you love the experience and the concept, it's got to generate revenue, including all of the others, you know, with the addition of how many people you need to staff it, with the licensing, with the liability issues. It has to generate money and keep on recurring. Repeat revenue generation is essential to your business. Compelling content, we're going to be talking about that in the latter part of this conference. We're going to have to create content that is unique to our sector. 30 hours of play may be okay if you're doing something for the Rift or for PlayStation 4, but all we need is 3 minutes of robust in and out entertainment that is compelling. And of course, repeatability is essential to us. We can't invest this type of level of money into creating an entertainment system where we only deal with one person at a time. They play it once and then they go away. We want them to play it once and come back again and again and again. As a very clever man once said, you know, easy to play, but extremely difficult to master. And that's the type of experience that we want to impart to our audience. I bored you for way long enough. Early in the morning, you've got a lot to listen to. So I'll briefly take some questions if there are any particular ones, and then I'll get the panel session set up for the next one. The usual suspects. Let me go for the first.
What a great array of opportunities that are taking on. However, my experience, your experience is great for every one of the museums, the caves, all those really different business models, different venues. How do you take that one solution to address all those four takeaways that are very different?
You hire great no. They're not so dissimilar. It's taken a lot of time to gather all of this information, but I wear another hat, which is the chair of the Digital Out-of-Home Entertainment Sector Association, and it is clear, very clear, that repeat visitation and monification, stupid word, generating revenue are the key practices across both of, be it a museum or an arcade or a theme park or a family entertainment center. So there are some similar components to them, Steve. I would go as far as saying there are some similar attributes in each one of those markets that you need to locate and then emulate and pass across. It's very difficult to nail them down, but you know, it's part of the process of coming up with a suitable business project. Andrew.
The Namco virtual reality, is that
you're asking the question, the VR zone developed by Bandai Namco.
I tried looking it up online.
It's in Tokyo.
Yeah, I think you said.
Did I apologize? I keep on using the phrase the Asian dragon to try and cover my mistakes. Bandai Namco is a Japanese amusement corporation, and that facility, the only one is in Tokyo, and it's only going to be there for a couple of weeks. Sir, please.
Yes, so you mentioned the operation, not 16, so you cannot serve the age of 16?
Here we go. The person
Can
is...
you repeat the question?
Of course, sorry. Thank you. The question was, I had the slide up saying that the individual to use the system has to be over 16 to use it. Let me clarify that a little bit. Certain manufacturers of head-mounted displays have certain waivers in their documentation. So when you purchase a when you purchase a Samsung Gear VR, it states in there that you have to be over 16 years of age to utilize that. Same with the Rift. I think our friends at HTC have changed that now. They're saying that you have to be over the age of 13, and there are other manufacturers that say we don't care. The reason why that, originally that concept was in there because there have been certain understandings from doctors that the interpupillary growth of children could be affected if they were using immersive entertainment systems for long exposures in certain conditions. No, number one, we're in the out-of-home entertainment sector. We're only going to have them in our head-mounted displays for a very short period of time, so in the bin. Number two, the reason why the age has changed from 13 to 16 is not because of anything to do with doctors' outlays, it's because the liabilities of the legal team and Facebook have decided that is the age. And so everything on Facebook is under the age of 16. They don't have anything to sway from. So you, as an operator, you have to make the decision whether you feel comfortable about having someone that's 6 years old using your technology, and you also have to protect yourself from that capability. Any other questions? So,
yeah, you mentioned you're working with a company that tried using
and they got a cease and desist letter from which company, why was that?
Oh yeah, my lawyers would really like me to say that. Sorry, the question was, I mentioned that a company had received a cease and desist letter, and the questioner wanted to know which company that was and the reason why they received it. I'm not going to tell you the company who sent them the cease and desist letter. It's that they actually sent them an email threatening them if they carried on getting publicity and usage that they would receive that. The reason why is infringement of brand representation. So if I'm a company such as HTC, and you've got my logo on the side of your head-mounted display, and a kid falls over, breaks his nose, and the media rush into the facility taking pictures of this kid with the broken nose wearing your head-mounted display, guess where the ambulance chasers are going to start attacking first? So all consumer electronics, from that laptop to the camera at the back, even to those stairs at the back, if they are made for consumer application, they have a large clause about halfway down in liability saying, not for commercial usage. And that's true of the software and the firmware, the joysticks that you're using. So unless you get a lovely letter from the legal team at the respective HMD company manufacturer saying, we give permission for Evan Williams to use this machine in his facility during this period, then you are liable. And you all need to be aware of it. Thank you. Any more? I bored you long enough, let's move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Can you please give another round of applause for Kevin, please? Thank you. To help us moderate our next VR Arcades panel. So please help me in inviting Bob.
I'm here, yes, you're here.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Can we get the first group of panelists up? I think there's 4 of you. 1, 2. That must be Goose, because I recognize the logo.